Hi everyone, welcome to my channel where I review the latest movies and documentaries. Today, I'm going to talk about Channel Zero series. If you're interested in this topic, make sure to watch this video until the end, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Channel Zero is an American anthology horror series, meaning that each season tells an independent story, inspired by the popular online creepypasta stories. 4 seasons of the series were produced between 2016 and 2018, and aired on Sci-Fi. Season 1. Candle Cove. This season follows the story of Mike Painter, a child psychiatrist, who returns to his hometown after a long absence, as a series of mysterious deaths begins to occur. Mike discovers that these deaths are linked to a children's television show called Candle Cove, which he and his friends watched as children, and who is believed to be responsible for the disappearance of his younger brother Eddie in 1988. Mike tries to get to the truth about what happened to Eddie and other children who were killed or disappeared by Candle Cove, but faces resistance from the townspeople and the police, especially from Marla, his mother, and played by Fiona Shaw. This story consists of 6 episodes, namely: Episode 1. You Have to Go Inside. Mike returns to his small town after receiving a letter from his childhood friend Donnie, who asks him to help investigate a series of crimes targeting children. Mike discovers that these crimes are linked to the Candle Cove show, which returns to television after an absence of 30 years. Mike tries to communicate with Donnie, but finds his body hanged in his home, and becomes a suspect in the case. Mike meets his sister Jessica and her daughter Katie, and learns that Katie also watches and is influenced by Candle Cove. Mike decides to stay in town to learn more about the program and its relationship to his past. Episode 2. I'll Hold Your Hand. Mike recalls how he watched Candle Cove with Eddie and their friends as children, how the show contained violent and frightening scenes, and how Eddie had the ability to control dolls and toys. Mike visits his old school, where he meets his former teacher, Mrs. Booth, who tells him that Eddie was a troubled and perverted child, and that he was torturing other animals and children. She also tells him that she was watching Candle Cove with him. She thinks the program was talking to him. Mike is attacked by a masked man with a gun, but survives with the help of police officer Gary, who was his childhood friend. Mike discovers that the masked man is Donnie, and that he is not dead, but is trying to kill him. Mike follows Donnie's blood traces to a deserted place, where he finds Eddie's body mummified and surrounded by dolls. Episode 3. Want to See Something Cool? Mike is arrested for Donnie's murder and is taken to a psychiatric hospital, where he meets Dr. Simmons, who tries to help him understand what is happening to him. Mike receives a visit from Marla, who tells him that she has found Eddie's body, and that she thinks he is still alive. Marla tries to contact Eddie via Candle Cove, but is attacked by a doll called Openjaw, which bites her in her hand. Marla survives with the help of Jessica, who takes her to the hospital. Mike receives a visit from Eddie, who tells him that he wants to come back to life, and that he needs his help. He also tells him that he is the one behind Candle Cove, and that he uses the software to control the children, and make them kill themselves or each other. Mike refuses to help Eddie and tries to escape from the hospital. Episode 4. A Strange Vessel. Mike manages to escape from the hospital, and heads to his house, where he finds Katie alone, and tells him that Jessica went to the hospital to see Marla. Mike tries to talk to Katie, but she acts strange, telling him that she wants to see something cold. Katie takes him to the bedroom, where she shows him a doll that looks like Eddie, and tells him that it is a gift from him. Mike realizes that Katie is controlled by Eddie, and that he uses her as a vessel for his soul. Mike tries to save Katie, but he is attacked by the Openjaw, which comes out from inside the doll. Mike survives with the help of Gary, who arrives home, shoots the doll and has an open jaw. Gary takes Mike and Katie to the hospital, where they meet Jessica and Marla. Mike tells them what happened, and decides to confront Eddie and end Candle Cove. Episode 5. Guest of Honor. Mike returns home, where he finds a letter from Eddie, inviting him to his birthday party in the woods. Mike follows the message, arriving at a place resembling the Candle Cove Theater, where he finds Eddie and the children who have been killed or disappeared because of the show. Eddie tells him that he wants to be with him again, and that he needs his body to come back to life. He also tells him that he can finish Candle Cove if he gives him his heart. Mike refuses to give in to Eddie, and tries to escape the party, but has a hard time distinguishing between reality and fiction. Mike is helped by one of the children, Daphne, who tells him that she wants to get out of Candle Cove, and that she knows a way to do so. Daphne leads him to a place where the real children's bodies are contained, and tells him that he must burn them to free their souls. Mike agrees to do so, and sets the bodies on fire, angering Eddie, who tries to stop him. Episode 6. Welcome home. Mike succeeds in freeing the children from Candle Cove, and returns to the city, where he meets his family and friends. Mike is relieved and thinks he's finished the show for good. But he discovers that Eddie hasn't given up, and that he's still trying to get back to life. It turns out that Eddie has taken Gary's body, that he has killed his wife and son, and that he plans to kill Mike and replace him. Mike confronts Eddie at home, and a violent conflict ensues between them. Mike succeeds in killing Eddie, stabbing him in the heart, resulting into the destruction of Candle Cove. The season ends with a scene of Mike, Katie, Jessica and Marla, celebrating Katie's birthday, watching TV, which only shows snow. And here we will have reached the end of our series. Here are some quotes from our series. Season 1. Candle Cove. This season tells the story of Mike Painter, a child psychiatrist, who returns to his hometown after a long absence, as a series of mysterious deaths begin to occur. Mike discovers that these deaths are linked to a children's television show called Candle Cove, which he and his childhood friends watch, and who is believed to be responsible for the disappearance of his younger brother Eddie in 1988. Mike tries to get to the bottom of what happened to Eddie and other children who were killed or disappeared by Candle Cove, but faces resistance from the townspeople and the police, especially from Marla, his mother played by Fiona Shaw. Among the quotes that characterize this season, we mention, "You go to the inside." This is the English title of the first episode of the season, a phrase echoed by a doll called Open Jaw, which appears on the Candle Cove show, urging children to enter a terrifying and dark world, where dangers and death await them. Do you remember Candle Cove? That's the question Mike asks his friends on an online forum, which opens the door to reminiscence about the strange and scary show, which no one else seems to have watched. This question is also the first sentence in the original story on which the season was based, written by Chris Troop. That's what Mike's sister, Zoe, says when Louise, her neighbor, asks her why she didn't tell her sister she was a drug addict. This quote shows the tense relationship between Zoe and her sister Jessica, and how Zoe tries to hide her truth from her, and about herself. Yes, there are more quotes from the series Channel Zero, which express the atmosphere of horror, mystery and suspense that it presents. For example, "I see them everywhere. Children who died. They watch me. They talk to me. They want something from me." This is what Mike says in the second episode of the first season, as he describes to Dr. Simmons his psychological state, and how he suffers from hallucinations related to the victims of Candle Cove, who he thinks are asking him for help or revenge. "Do you want to be my friend?" That's the question Breton, a Candle Cove character, asks the children watching it. Breton is a dead boy, wearing a skull mask, and holding a knife. This question sounds innocent and friendly, but it actually carries a frightening connotation, as Breton wants to get children to join him in his lonely world and share his bloody crimes. "You're not welcome here. This house is not for you. This house is ours." That's what Gareth, a resident of house number 9, tells Margot and Judy, two sisters who enter the mysterious house in season 2. Gareth is an elderly man, living in a dark room, and seems to be transformed into something else. This quote expresses the danger faced by visitors who enter the house, which tries to keep them inside, changing them into copies of themselves. Technical information about the series. Creator and executive producer. Nick Antosca, an American writer and director, known for his other works such as Hannibal, The Act, The Forest and Antlers. Antosca is responsible for selecting stories based on creepypasta, writing screenwriting, and overseeing direction and production. Composer. Jeff Russo, an American composer and musician, known for his other works such as Fargo, Legion, The Night of and Star Trek. Discovery. Russo is responsible for composing the soundtrack for the series, which is characterized by tension, mystery and horror. Directors. Each season of the series is directed by one director, to give the story unification and cohesion. The directors are: Season 1. Craig William McNeil, an American director and producer, known for his other works such as The Boy Lizzie and Them. McNeil is responsible for directing the story based on Candle Cove, which talks about a children's television show that causes horror and death. Season 2. Stephen Pitt, an American director and producer, known for his other works such as Uncle John, The Eyes of My Mother and Them. Pitt is responsible for directing the story based on The No End House, which talks about a haunted house that changes the reality of visitors who enter it. Season 3. Arkasha Stevenson, an American director and photographer, known for her other work such as Pineapple, Vessels and Them. Stevenson is responsible for directing this story based on Butcher's Block, which talks about a cursed forest containing a mutant family that feeds on humans. Season 4. E.L. Katz, an American director and writer, is known for his other works such as Cheap Thrills, Small Crimes, and Your Next. Katz is responsible for directing this story based on The Dream Door, which talks about a secret door that hides a terrifying entity that responds to emotions. Cast. Each season of the series includes a group of main and minor actors, who perform the roles of the different characters in this story. Some of the well-known actors who participated in this series are: Paul Schneider is an American actor, director, and writer, known for his other work such as Parks and Recreation, The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford and Water for Elephants. Schneider plays Mike Pinter in the first season. Fiona Shaw is an Irish actress, director, and writer, known for her other works such as Harry Potter, Killing Eve and True Blood. Shaw plays Marla Pinter in the first season. Amy Forsyth, a Canadian actress, is known for her other works, such as A Christmas Horror Story, Hellfest and The Path. Forsyth plays Margot Sleater in Season 2. Rutger Hauer, a Dutch actor, producer and writer, is known for his other works such as Blade Runner, The Hitcher and Batman Begins. Hauer plays Joseph Beach in the third season. Holland Roden, an American actress and model, is known for her other works such as Teen Wolf, Grey's Anatomy, and Lore. Roden plays Zoe Woods in Season 3. Steven Weber is an American actor, producer, and writer, known for his other works such as Wings, 13 Reasons Why, and The Shining. Weber plays Tom Hodson in Season 4. Here is some technical information related to the series Channel Zero, which shows the extent of interest and professionalism with which this distinctive horror series was made. If you are a fan of horror, adventure and fantasy, we recommend you to watch this series and enjoy its different and exciting stories. Story source. Each season of the series is based on a creepypasta story, which are scary stories that spread on the internet and are very popular among horror and fantasy lovers. Season 1. Candle Cove, a story written by Chris Strobe about a children's TV show that causes horror and death. Season 2. The No End House, a story written by Brian Russell about a haunted house that changes the reality of visitors who enter it. Season 3. Butcher's Block, a story inspired by a series of Reddit posts called Search and Rescue Woods, written by Carrie Hammond, about a cursed forest containing a mutant, human-feeding family. Season 4. The Dream Door, a story based on another creepypasta story, Hidden Door, written by Charlotte Baywater, tells of a secret door that hides a terrifying entity that responds to emotions. Filming and locations. The series was filmed in Manitoba, Canada, and different locations were used to represent places in the stories, such as schools, homes, forests and theaters. Season 1. Most of the scenes were filmed in the city of Selkirk, and Selkirk High School was used as the location of Mike's old school, and the old train station was used as the location of Mike's current home. The city of Winnipeg was also used to shoot some other scenes. Season 2. Most of the scenes were filmed in Winnipeg, and the collegiate school was used as the site for the Margot School, and an abandoned building was used as the site for House Number 9. Other locations were also used in Selkirk and Portigal Prairie. Season 3. Most of the scenes were filmed in Winnipeg, and collegiate school was used as the location of Alice's school, and an abandoned building was used as the site for the Beach family home. Other locations in Selkirk and St. Andrews were also used. Season 4. Most scenes were filmed in Winnipeg, and collegiate school was used as the location of Tom's school, and an abandoned building was used as the location of Tom and Julian's home. Other locations in Selkirk and St. Andrews were also used. This is some technical information related to the series Channel Zero, which shows the extent of effort and care with which this distinctive horror series was made. If you are a fan of horror, adventure and fantasy, we recommend you to watch this series and enjoy its different and exciting stories. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this series and what other movies or documentaries you want me to review next. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.